If you're over 21 years old, you definitely want to check out this video. Man, am I thirsty. Let's talk beer.
Perfect. I like that.
Hey everyone, this is Matt Swierk, and I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams Realty. Now, if this is the first time you come to our YouTube channel and you're looking to know everything there is about Massachusetts as far as eating, sleeping, drinking, playing, and especially some of the best beer, then you definitely want to subscribe to our channel. More importantly, click that little bell so every time we make a new video, you're going to be notified. So it's an honor for us to get so many calls and emails of people asking some of the most simple questions to some of the most complicated questions as far as Massachusetts. And we love to be that resource. You know that we have your back. So you have questions, we're going to give you answers. You simply have to reach out either with a phone call, a text, an email, a carrier pigeon, or even some smoke signals. You get it to us, we'll get you answers. Talk to you soon. All right, so today we're talking some of the best beer here in Massachusetts, and it's pretty interesting. We actually have close to 200 breweries here in the state. So today we just want to highlight a couple of those breweries and what some of the highlights of their breweries are. Most of these are going to be IPAs. There's actually just one porter that's on there, so we're talking all IPAs today. So if you like Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, you got to go sit down because we're talking all IPAs. So the first place we're going to talk about is out in Charlton, and a lot of people don't think about breweries out there. For those of you who are familiar with Massachusetts, you'll get a little kick out of our Charlton's really known for the rest area. If you want information on that, give me a call because I'll tell you what that's all about. Now, Treehouse Brewing, actually, the only way that you can get their beer is at the brewery itself. And their big claim to fame is, like I said, their IPA, which is called the Julius. What's good to know about the Julius is it's loaded with different notes of passion fruit, mango, citrus. It's got a good kick to it. It's got about a 6.8% alcohol percentage in there. It's really refreshing, and it's got this. It's just the drinkability is great. It reminds me of a Sessions IPA. Now, we're going to go into downtown Boston. Well, not necessarily downtown, but there's a place called Trillium Brewery. And they have actually grown quite a bit over the years. They had one small little store, and that moved out of its Congress Street location. They went to a bigger place that was out in Fort Point, and then they added a tap room over in their Canton headquarters. And they actually opened a tap room down in the Fenway Park neighborhood. So great place to go have a beer over there. Now, their beer of choice is, they're a little interesting, kind of a tongue twister. They have a double dry hopped Congress Street IPA. And this is a very interesting beer. This has a lot of fragrant aromatics of mango, pine resin, grapefruit. There's some pineapple flavor in there. There's some peach. That's just the smell itself. And then when you get into the flavor of it, lots of tropical fruit. There's kind of that grassy hop to it. A little bit of nectarine, some orange rind flavor. Definitely got this kind of creamy malt. It's a really thick, rich mouthful. Lots of carbonation, and it's got a nice finish that it's full and a little bit oily. It's really clean. But it has a really nice light and modest bitterness. So as a beer drinker, if you saw my belly, you know I drink beer, not that often. A lot of carbs anyway. So the big thing is I do like a little bit of bitterness there, but if it's too bitter, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. So I like to have that lighter taste. So I'm definitely a Sessions guy. We're going to go out to Metro West and over into Framingham, and Jack's Abbey Brewery. Probably one of my favorite places as far as breweries are concerned. You know, we have our big ones like Harpoon, and we have Sam Adams. However, Jack's Abbey, I don't know, I get a kick out of there being a brewery in Framingham. Don't ask me why. There's a whole nother story if you want to talk to me about Framingham, what that means to me. But really, they've been around for over 9 years. And, like I said, they kind of feel like that old friend of the neighborhood, at this point in time. And they actually make this thing, it's a really rarely seen IPL, which is an Indian Pale Lager. You see this all over the place. They've, it's really blown up over the past couple of years. So their double Indian Pale Lager is something called Kiwi Rising. And what's great about Kiwi Rising, like I said, it's got a lot of hop to it. It's a very, very strong lager. Like I said, it's referred to as a double Indian Pale lager. They put over 4 pounds of hops per bottle, especially of their their New Zealand hops, which are their Kiwi hops. So that's an interesting beer. They got a lot of different IPAs, so you definitely want to check out the different things from Jack's Abbey. Now, we'll go a little bit further west over to Worcester, one of our big cities here in Massachusetts. Now, Wormtown's been around for about 10 years, and they have actually seen a lot of traction over the past couple of years. They have a brewery down on Restaurant Road that's in Worcester. We talked about that in another video, and they've really, really expanded. So they are actually they're in 5 of the 6 New England states. They also have a tap. A lot of people get a kick out of a few of their interesting named beers, which is the Mass Whole, which is a lager. They also have the Blizzard of 78, which is a brown seasonal ale. And this is actually one of my favorite IPAs. It's called the Be Hoppy, because I like to be happy. Cheesy, I know, it is what it is. So Be Hoppy is their take on really the left coast IPA, and it's got a ton of flavor to it, tons of citrus in there. It's a great beer to be able to sit back and relax. You know, not as light as the Sessions, but it's pretty close. So this was one of the first beers that I had from Wormtown. I was highly satisfied with that one. We're going to round this list off with the Building 8 Brew Company. Now, what's interesting about the Building 8 Brew Company is when Jack's Abbey moved from its location across town, these guys said, hey, we're going to start to brew our own beer. And they started off with something that was called the Exhibit A. They had a ton of rave reviews basically they did this whole series on beer brewing, and they launched this barrel aged beer process back in October. We ended with this list because with this beer because their big claim to fame is actually a porter, and it's actually their briefcase porter. So as far as the porter is concerned, very, very balanced. It's got a nice roasty flavor with a medium body, light finish. Most porters aren't very difficult to drink as far as having one too many, so that has a nice flavor to it. So we talked a lot of IPAs today. We talked a couple different beers, but this is definitely we have some interesting breweries here in Massachusetts. You definitely want to check them all out. Just a small segment of the close to 200 breweries that we have here in Massachusetts. But again, you know, if you got to reach out to us if you're looking to find that perfect place to live, that place to visit, that place to relocate to, that place to drink a beer. How are you going to do that? Very simple. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, shoot us an email. However you get to us, we're going to provide you with answers. We got your back when it comes to Massachusetts.